Hey guys. So one of the things that I get asked the most to share here on YouTube is my process. Not just my process on how I do things, but also how I pick my colors, how I choose my medium, what journal I'm going to do it in, also real-time videos. You guys want to see how long it actually takes me to do something. Now, this is hard for me because my editing brain is a little bit different from my creative brain. And where a creative process can take me, 5 to hours, my editing brain does not like that. So I tend to speed up my videos. I tend to, edit all that stuff out. However, this morning, I did a little doodle. I've been doodling in this play journal composition notebook that I've got going on. It's new to me. It's nice. It's still shiny and I want to play in it. Whereas my sketchbook is kind of sitting on the corner, or my other project books are just waiting for me to get to them. This art play has been at the top of the list recently, and I love it. I love every project book because it starts out like that, right? In that honeymoon stage. Anyways, I'm bringing you a look at how I go about doing what I do. Today we so happen to be playing with Tombow markers. That's just the mood I've been in this week. And unlike the swings, which I did on my bed without recording, this one I did purposely to share with you guys. So I hope you enjoy it, and here we go. Not sure where I got this picture from, somewhere on the internet, clearly. I get inspiration from everywhere. Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook. Just screenshot it, save it, and hopefully get to it at some point. Sometimes I don't get to them, and I do sometimes delete inspo pictures when I'm just tired of seeing them in my phone and I've had them for forever. But sometimes it's really good and I act on it right away, which is awesome, because that means motivation and creativity are working for me that day. So here you see me rummaging through my drawer of Tombows, picking out colors that look similar to what's in the picture. This is my secret composition notebook. Not so secret now, I guess. Here we go. I'm gonna show you guys what I've been doing in here. It's just for fun. It's just for play. It's got lines, obviously, and nothing that I'm doing in here was intended to be shared. I'm journaling. It's private, but I've already posted it. And now I'm showing you what I'm doing. I started in a line journal, if you guys remember, back in 2016. My bullet journals were lined. I guess there's some kind of level of comfort. Also, I've been in an A6 since October. It's about 9 months, so maybe getting back into an A5 also seems comfortable. Who knows? Maybe it's just the low level expectation of what this journal was meant to be. Is going to be, because I still don't have any expectations for it except that it brings me joy. It's a quiet place for my thoughts, whether they be joyous or angry. Right now I just need a space like that. So I color blocked the foreground, I suppose, and then just laying down the general shapes of my cacti, and yeah, the colors are just similar to the ones from the picture. There's there might have been better ones. I didn't take very long, you know, swatching them out. I just kind of went by whatever the caps are. I haven't used my Tombows in a while, so it's all intuitive, but I am writing down the numbers in case you want to follow along. Please don't go and buy anything. You can follow along with crayons or color pencils, watercolor, whatever you've got, in whatever journal you've got, whatever piece of paper you've got. Clearly, I do not clean my palettes. This is a piece of acrylic that we did a gouache swatch on, and I have yet to clean it. So I'm using my Tombow this time around with water. I want to dilute the color a little bit. My first attempt was, yikes, I went a little bold. Not enough water. To tell you the truth, the water brush didn't have any water in it, so I've got the cup of water on the side where I'm dipping it. I could have just used a regular brush, but I didn't. Because that's just me. So I've got some blue. It's like a sunset for sure. And I just enjoyed the colors. I haven't done a sunset in a while. I used to do a lot of sunsets. And I'm still every night, you know, we look out the window and just, what does it look like? Is it picture worthy? Is it watercolor worthy? The summer ones tend to be so nice here. So yeah, so I'm adding a little bit of like lilac, mixing it into the blue, kind of diluting it. My paper's a little bit wet. This paper does not love to be wet. It definitely starts shredding during the sunset situation. It's just, even though I'm trying to be careful about the water, which is probably better that my water brush didn't have water in it, or else I tend to go heavy, you know, but it all ends up, you know, working out, because there's no stress about this. This is just for fun. In fact, when I turned on the camera, I promised myself that if it didn't work out, I'd just journal and move on from the page. I would scrap the video if it didn't work out and try again another time. But it worked, so you're so lucky. I've got some purple. Well, I did the lilac, and now I'm coming in with like a light pink. Yeah, I go back and forth between going straight for the paper and then going to dilute it on the acetate. Honestly, my palette is so dirty that I can barely see the lilac and the pink, so I kind of lost them a little bit. And also, I mean, this paper is just not, it's not meant for this, you know. It's okay. I've got a little bit of a, like a beige. I really like the transition between, you know, dark beige, and then like you got the dark and then you got the beige, and then it brings you back into the sky. And here that is. Maybe this isn't quite a sunset because the colors were light, but whatever it was a really nice picture. I'm glad I captured it in my own way. I'm glad that I am grateful that my creativity showed up today and that I was able to share it in this way with you guys. So next I've got the composition laid down. I've got the basic colors. I'm good with that. Now we've got some detail for the cacti, and that foreground is obviously lacking. So nothing crazy. I'm doing this all really, really loose. You can tell by how far back my hand is on the brush pen. Typically when I am doing something carefully, like my hand is right up on the brush, kind of like a pencil. This is really, really loose. Like it's like, yeah, you know, far back. I was watching somebody's YouTube video and they were saying, like, you know, stand back, use your whole arm. Like, it just really took me back to like high school when our teachers were trying to explain all that fun stuff to us, you know. And we were so paying attention. No, I do remember a lot of the stuff that I learned in high school, and I apply a lot of that stuff still. Really loose, again, just scribbling, and that's enough to give the illusion of grass, especially like desert grass, which is kind of like clumpy and just, I don't know, burnt out. I don't know. So yeah, so I'm just marking, doing marks, doing scribbles, you know. Maybe this is a little bit of journaling too. I should have just kind of done that sort of thing. It's funny to watch myself do it because I know what it feels like in the moment. You know, in the moment I'm like serious. It's loose, but I'm still serious about what I'm doing. I have an idea. I still have quote unquote control over what I'm doing. Paper is a little bit wet, which did work for me in this instance because that lets the color bleed a little bit, and it's not so, so my markings aren't so serious, so bold and like spiky. They got a little you know, blurry. They mixed with the other color underneath, which is great because I've got two greens there, as you can see. There I am tapping my finger, which means what comes next. I grabbed the color that I used to block it, and since we're applying it as another layer, it comes on darker. That's what markers do. So I am applying it to, you know, the spaces in between to show dirt, because it's the desert. And then I was just like, wait a second, let me just see if this color works as shadows for my cacti. And wouldn't you know it, it worked out perfectly. So I didn't have to go look for another color. I was able to do the shadows with the same color. So it keeps the palette nice and small, and you know, cool. So here I grabbed that olive green, and I'm literally recycling the same colors over and over, but when you layer them, they acquire a darker tone because that's what markers do. So the original picture, of course, has a moon. Oh, so it is a sunset. There's a moon. And I was going to eyeball it, but then I was just like, I have a stencil right here. And this is my Uniball Signo white pen. I love this pen. It always works for me. I have no issues with it. And once the moon was done, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give the cacti a little bit of a glow. So just to help them stand out, I decided early on that I did not want to outline them in black pen. I usually do that. My black ink it would have gone right through this paper and it would have, you know, been there. So I decided not to use black. Also, sometimes when I'm playing, I just don't want the super dark lines that sometimes resembles my work, you know, like style. So this is just airy and nice and light.